Good evening folks and welcome, and tonight's video, we're going to do this, we're going to look at this Waltham. Don't know what Waltham it is, it just says Waltham stereo AM FM stereo cassette receiver. So, but I forget to mention there's a record player in there as well. So basically this is, you may remember this deck. This is the one I serviced for him the other night, and it's actually disgusting. So we're not keeping this deck. We're taking this out and we're going to put a nice new deck in this. But we're going to give it all a good clean and try and get it all looking well. I had one of these as a kid. I bought it off a friend's dad. And the issue it had was all these buttons were knackered, but it has to be said that this one isn't. Also a shortwave on this radio as well, and that's it. That's the Waltham. I'll let you know the model number when I get to the back. That's not important because these were all pretty much the same inside anyway. Anyway, if I remember rightly, I think these were all. I think the screws were held on with. I think the bottoms on these are held on with little plastic screws. There's a cassette in there, so we'll start by getting rid of that. We don't want cassettes in there because we may have to take the mechanism out to work on it. And there's the eject. Comes up with the usual Waltham FUD. But let's get it upside down. At least in a position. Oh, to where we? Oh no, it's some of the screws. I think some of the screws are plastic. Let's get this. See, the reason why I've left the towels down is because the dust cover on this is in pretty good condition and I don't want to break it. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to start by removing the screws and removing that rather disgusting auto changer. Put something in there a bit more, well, a bit better. Put something in there that's a bit better. And we'll give it all a good overhaul. The usual vintage electronics repair treatment. Let's get the little soldering irons on. It always helps to have your soldering iron on. Let's get the cutters in case I need them. No, yeah, there are some plastic screws in here. They were supposed to be all plastic in these. I remember I had one years ago, but somebody's put metal screws in places, some of them. And that one won't come out. Oh yeah, it will. What I might do is have a look, see what I've got, and see if I can put metal screws in it, I think. Well, actually some of them are metal. This one is supposed to be metal. Yeah, that's supposed to be metal. It just sort of had a mixture of screws in the damn things. And I'll never figure out why. But there's only like 3 or 4 screws that hold the, well, 4 screws that hold the bottom on. And this one just turns and doesn't want to give up. But it will. Just pull the bottom panel slightly towards you, and that's it. The screw just pops out along with the little plastic retainer that it sits into. Very typically Waltham. Right, we're now into the inside, and we're now into the back, and we can have a look at the splendid repair that Mildred did. There we go, folks. Are we ready? There's the motor. And we've got, look at that, an earth not connected. Mildred. We've got an earth not connected, so let's cut this tape off. I mean, it's not really a great issue because we're putting a replacement deck in the damn thing, but you know. You know, it would be nice. For fuck's sake. There we are. Yeah. A real Mildred bodge up there. And he's put tape around these chock blocks, which I'm not too bothered about because I'm gonna redo them, but I'm gonna do them with heat shrink. So I'm gonna clip this here. I'm not even gonna go to the trouble of taking them chock blocks off, and I don't know what he did with that fuse. So I'm gonna clip that off there. That doesn't matter because that goes to the motor. We'll just clip that off and chuck the fucking thing anyway. There we go, get rid of that. Now, we've got 3 wires here. One of these goes to the motor. They all go up to the power switch. But why are we having 3 more wires going to the motor? Why has he done that? And because he hasn't left the original fuse holder in, I do not know. Unplug that. Because that just gets you to your pit, that gets the pickups unplugged. And it's got the nice long ones as well that that vintage electronics people like, but they're staying in here. Oh, hang on. Well, they might come out actually, depending on how I feel. But I might clip them out because once the turntable's in here, it'll never need to come out again. So what I'm gonna do, yeah, I'll probably clip them. I'll probably clip them, and because my new turntable I'm putting in doesn't have these type of thing arrangement. It's done a different way. It has it's the wires are soldered in, so we'll probably have them soldered in. So that's clipped out the way. And then we've got these wires here. Now I don't understand this. I think one end of it went to a fuse. It did. One end of it went to a fuse. The fuse is no longer in here. It doesn't matter about that because the fuse was only in line with the motor, so that doesn't really make a difference. But this is going to need a full treatment, that's for sure. But it's not badly made, to be honest with you. I mean, I was slagging it off the other night, but it's not really that badly made. I've seen worse. I've seen better as well, but I've certainly seen worse, definitely. So what we'll do, we'll clip these wires because we know they all go together. Yeah, that goes into the switch. That feeds the switch, and that was on the other end of the fuse. So that's how that was done. So I'm looking forward to Jay's Vintage Junk's next video on the BBC Micro, which he's calling Mildred's Ashtray. It was an art. Yeah, it was full of cigarette dimps. Right, so where's the fucking... So that's our first screw, first clip. We want that up there. And then we want the other one, if I can get my fucking fingers up. Pardon the expression, or does it just slide out? Some of them, they just slide out. And you don't have to fuck about with the clip. But I'm not going to be lucky here, am I? Am I? Yeah. Yeah, it's got a cut out, it just slides out, that's alright. So we can lay the music centre back down again. It's been years. To be honest with you, this is like revisiting an old girlfriend. Because, and I'll tell you why, like I say, I bought one of these off a friend's dad, and I gave him a tenner for it. And I had it in my bedroom. This was back in 1982. It had a load of dodgy buttons on the front. And I had it in my bedroom. And I mean, it was there for yonks. I have a lot of fond memories of it. So why doesn't the deck sit straight? Because the deck in this doesn't sit straight, and wonder why. Oh, I know why. Probably them things are fucked. But it doesn't make any difference that. It's immaterial of whether the deck sits straight. We've still got a fucking earth on there, so we need to get that off. I mean, I'll say one thing, at least the earth defocus properly. Right. There we go. One dirty old manky BSR deck removed. Right, so what we'll do, we'll pop that there for a minute. Pop that there, because that can go in the pile to be reused in something less worthy. Right, let's have a look at the amplifier. The smoothing cap hasn't got any shit coming out of it, we're alright there. They're all NEC transistors in this, and it is transistorized, it's not fucking shitty integrated circuit chips. That needs sticking back on. It does need a bit of work doing on it, a bit of feckling. I mean, in all honesty, it's not mint, but it can be brought back, it's not really that bad. We've got some gunge in there. This all needs a clean so that it looks decent. You're never going to see it, but I'll tell you what we'll do. We'll unpack. What we'll do, we'll just get the cloth and give this a wipe. I mean, and what we can do, we can see how my new record deck is going to sit in this, because that deck was sitting a bit lopsided and I don't understand why. These were made to take different motor boards. I mean, you could see they were different. They were made to take a different deck. You could, you know, because there's screw holes in different positions. But obviously, obviously BSR went in this. Obviously, they decided to go for the BSR changer, which is no bad thing. You know, it's no bad thing. A Garrard would have been nicer, but then it would have made the music centre dearer. Right, so what I'm going to do now, folks, I'm going to, in front of you, because I've got my tea on as well, I'm going to bring this up. This is one of my new auto changers. Pardon the squeaks. This is one of my new auto changers that I bought. And these are all in lovely condition, and they're brand new. They're brand new, they've never played a record yet. And I'm using them because I've got them. Look at that. Look at that, a brand new spanker. Never ever played a record. Unless of course when BSR, they might have played one when BSR tested it. All them years ago. And we don't have a switch on, we don't have a deck switch on this. And the reason why we don't have a deck switch is because it has a winding, it has an overwinding on the motor on this, so I'm going to swap the motor. We're going to use the motor and deck switch off the old deck. The reason why I'm doing that is because this has an overwinding on, and take that piece of cardboard out. So basically we're going to swap the motor, and I just hope they haven't riveted the fucking switch to it. No, thank fuck they haven't, it's a nut and bolt. So basically I'm going to take this arrangement off. Basically I'm going to take, oh fuck that, you know what I'm going to do, I'm going to change the fucking motor. Can't get it to the camera. Right, I'm going to take the motor and switch off this one. I'm going to put it on to this one. And this is my nice new spanking new deck. And that's all really. So we want the screwdriver. We want to take the turntable off because I'm not sure I'm going to work on here. So it's a good job of lubricating it, wasn't it? I mean, when I lubricate a turntable, we can get them off with one hand there enough. Get that. Right. Just rest that on my leg a minute. There we go. That turntable's as scabby as you like. I won't be reusing that. Find another one somewhere. Right. And the only part of this I need to worry about, I don't want to lose them, is the little nuts that are on the switch. So we need our screwdriver. And I mean, I could always just fucking change the switch, but I don't want to do that because I want to save. If I've got a motor with an overwind on it, I'd rather save that. I'd rather save that for something that could take advantage of that. And I might decide I want to do a project where I need a motor with an overwind on it. So right, are we off there now? Would help if I undone the right one, wouldn't it? Just rest it on this drawer. I'll tell you what folks, let me get the fucking motor off and I'll come back. Be here all fucking night. Jesus. Alright folks, we're back. What we're doing now was clean the switches. And what I'm doing now, I'm going to... You know, screws are a bit tight in this. They always wear on these though for some fucking insane reason. There we go. Let's get the other screwdriver and that should let me lift the screws out. There we go. Right, because we need to get into it to clean the record switches. Okay, now, Jesus, screws are tight. That's got it. Well, I'm not sure on these if you have to pull the fucking front off to get the cassette mechanism out. You know, I can't fucking remember. It's been that long since I worked on one of these. I've not worked on a Waltham for a long, long time. That holds the take counter on its back screw there has to come out. Yeah, that has to come out. They're not as kind as Sony, these people. They didn't give you little arrows in which to show you what screws came out. Okay, now. Jesus. Oh, God. That was fucking tight. It's one thing though. You know it's never been out. Right, so that's the take counter. That holds that in. Still fucking somewhat holding this in somewhere. Look at this. That's not fucking wanting to move at all. Right, so there's another screw down the front here. Right, so that's that. Now there's another one, number two. Down here. Another one here. There we go. Yeah, and I think you have to take the front off to get the. Yeah, you have to take the front off to get the. Where's my little thing I can use to just get these switches off. 1, 2, 3, 4, called a tuner. Right. Basically what we're doing, I'm going to pull the front off. If I remember rightly, and that's how you get into it. I think there might be some screws. Can't remember how they come apart these things, it's been years. In fact, to be honest, I don't think I'd fucking ever see one of these things again. Didn't think there was any left about for it. They'd all gone into landfill or fucking, you know, just gone. That one was already loose. Mildred's just been. Yeah, you have to take that out to get the cassette mechanism out. Don't know whether the whole front has to come off, but whether you can jiggle it out. No. Can't even remember how the whole front comes off, to be honest. See, we've got any screws on the top. I would be surprised if there isn't. It's got to be something holding it. Oops. Right. Well, there's not there. There's not there. There's nothing there. Hope I've not broken that. Not broken that, have I? Can't see how it was. Don't even know how it's supposed to lock. It's supposed to go. Yeah, I think it, no, I haven't. It's there. No, it's there. It's just the whole lot's moved out of the way. Yeah. So the whole mechanism moved. Yeah. Yeah, it's still there. I thought I'd broken it. No, it's still there. It's not snapped that. It's got like a curve on it. Right, so what I need to do is work out how the fucking front comes off. Believe it or not, years ago I used to know. I used to know years ago. Well, this mechanism is undone anyway. But you can't get it off with the front on. The buttons don't have to be pulled off. I just can't remember. Can't remember how the fucking thing comes off. Just can't fucking remember for the life of me how it comes off. It's not screwed in the sides, I'm certain of that. Let's just check it. It could be, but I don't think so. No, it is just a push fit. But it's fucking, you try getting the fucking thing off. I mean, that comes off. It's all loose. But I don't know how it comes off here. At the front. Get one of my little tool things and see if I can find an inconspicuous place. Right. It's not screwed on there. I can't remember how the fucking thing comes apart now, folks. It's been years since I fucking worked on one of these. Right. Surely you'd have to take all this fucking lot off. No. I mean, I've got the mechanisms all, the mech's all undone. I mean, it's loose, all the screws are out because it's moving. I'll be back in a minute, folks. Good morning, folks, and I'm on the Waltham Music Centre that I got from Mildred, and it's a bit worse for wear, this, to be honest with you. I'm not sure what I'm going to be able to do, and the reason for this is it's all rusty in here. So what I'm going to have to do, I'm going to have to try and get it apart and try and clean it the best I can, really. And I'm going to have to get these, just empty that cup there with that crap in it. Any small bits like that can go in it. Right. So we'll take this pin out here, because we need to take all this off. It's all got to come off and be cleaned. Take the counter belt off. I want to work on the top before I work on the bottom, because I need to know this thing's worth mending before I even do anything, go any further with it. Need to know it's worth, if it's not worth saving, I won't go any further with it. But for the minute I want to give it the best chance as possible chance of being saved, because you know me, I don't like to scrap them if I can help it. I'm going to get the old clunker, the number 5 data approved computer hammer, and tap my pin out. Hope I can remember how this all goes back together. I hope this is not one of them things when you pull it a load of fucking springs fly out. I don't fancy the thought of that, not at this time of the morning, I don't. I'm trying to find my frigging pliers. There they are. There we go. Right, so it's all got to come out, unfortunately, because that is just too much. There's no way. Okay, now that's stiff. Well, it all falls out, it all falls out. I'll have to just take a crash course in putting it back together. But unfortunately, it's all got to come apart because it is really bad. If I'm going to save this music centre, I've got to do this, unfortunately. We've got loads of springs down here, I knew we would have. Loads of springs. But it's got to be done, unfortunately. I mean, it should be one of them per button, I would have thought. And I don't even know how they go back in. Well, I've got an idea. So, yeah, they all have one. I've got an idea. They go. There's one for each one, but yeah, they sort of go. You sort of fucking. This has all got to be cleaned because this is a mess. Don't know what the circuit board's like, but the cassette deck itself, I think this might be past it, you know. But we'll see if we can save it. Let's just get this last. So these springs, they should be 1, 2. I don't think it matters which button goes where because they're not labelled, or they all appear to be the same distance and stuff like that, not keyed or anything. They're not asymmetrical or whatever they call it. I think they're all standard, which is lucky, which is a good thing. So basically, your spring goes in either to the top or the bottom of your button. Here's how it basically reassembles. I'll do one to show you. You don't have to worry about putting a spring on there, there's no power in it. But basically what we do is just here's how you assemble them. You put your button in. Yeah. Does this ain't come off it? I think this comes off here. This is a sub-assembly. I think this comes off and you assemble it that way. But basically you put your button on there, then you get your spring, and I don't know which way around these things went. I would imagine it's that way. So I would imagine you put your spring let's see how high the button is. Because this is new for me, I've never done this. Right, so that goes through there. And your spring. Oh, it basically goes through there. Yeah. Spring goes in there, goes down into there, and then I think it just locks. Now if I push this button, this up bar all the way through, so we're not locked in there. So basically now, what we do, we bring, we just get the other tool, you basically bring your spring down, I don't think that's right. Partly because I can't see where the fucking, I mean they do lock back in, but now the spring's moved. There we go. So that has to come back down, and that has to just lock into there. So that has to come down. That has to slide into there like that. Yeah, that slides into there. But you try getting the fucking thing in. This is going to be a challenge. That's it. That's how they go. But it's not supposed to jump back out. Right, so we're in there now. So if I push that, that into there. And that's it. That's how it goes. Yep. That's how it goes, it just hooks into there. Yeah. To be honest, that's down, that's up. To be honest, I think the spring might go the other way. But that's the general idea of how it reassembles, and you have to do each one. Yeah, that sort of sticks a bit. But that's how it works anyway, but there's a lot to go before I can put them, and I've just lost the spring. How the fuck's that just flew out? Let's find that fucking spring, because without that I can't put the fucker back together. Now I know it dropped on the floor right in front of me. For fuck's sake. I've got another fucking hacker to do this morning and all. I don't need this shit. There it is. Right, so what I'm going to do, I'm going to pack this up. Find somewhere to put it. Because I can't work on it yet. So. Because I need to work on. I've got one more hacker to do. And I want to get that done because he's coming for them either tomorrow or Sunday. Probably Sunday. So what I need to do is all this lot that belongs to this music centre. Now I know where I'm going with, now I know what direction I'm taking with this. I can collect all the parts, but most of the parts are all on the other side. There's only the odd one that's on this side. Most of the bits are on the other side. I can leave this like this and put it somewhere safe. I won't put the buttons in here, I'll just put the screws and stuff. So we'll move. We've got all our springs. All this is going to be an ongoing project, this music centre. It's not going to get done overnight. That is a fact. It's not going to be done overnight, you know. But the point is, it will get done, and I'll keep you updated on its progress. Obviously, I can put the little slide controls in, stuff like that in there. I mean, put stuff like that in there. I mean, it's going to take some time. It's not a job I'm going to be able to do overnight because I mean, usually these music centres, I can usually knock them off in a matter of a couple of hours, but you know, this is a different fucking kettle of fish, really. I mean, there should be a circlip that goes onto this. Where did I put that? It doesn't matter if I've not found, I'll find it because of fucking standard size, luckily, and I have some, but it would be nice to put the original parts back in, wouldn't it? For once. It might even be fucking in here. I'm just double checking, make sure. Because I took it off, obviously. Right. Well, I've got plenty of clips like that, so it's not really an issue, but it's always nice to put on what you take off. I'll tell you what though, folks, getting this fucking front off to get that. You've got to take the front off to get the cassette mechanism out. There's no two ways about that. You ain't going to get it out. And getting this off was a real bastard. And I mean a bastard. But we got it. We got there. It took some doing, but we did it. I mean, it's only a push fit with a bit of double-sided tape. It's only a push fit, but and in the course of that, I accidentally broke the cassette door, which I've now epoxied back together, and that should be okay. That should be better than stronger than what it was when it was new now, that. So that's been repaired. They're made to break them things. So that's by the time that'll be fucking goes back on, it'll be good and hard. So I'll put that in there with that so I don't get lost. Put that in there. All my cassette control buttons. There's another screw out of it. It's a lid screw. A lid bracket there. Put all my screws here. All my fucking buttons. No, I won't put them there. I'll tell you what I'll do. No, I can't. That's still got Fisher stuff in it. I'll tell you what I'll do with the buttons. The cassette buttons, I know what I'll do with them. I've got a tray at the back here, I'll stick them in that. And this, I'll stick in that tray. So I know what that's for. Right. This bar, because I'm going to have to get the Dremel on this. This is going to be a long job to sort this, even if it can be sorted. I don't even know if it can be sorted. But that's where we're up to on the Mildred Waltham Music Centre. It's it could end up being a scrapper, to be perfectly honest with you. But you know, there's no way on earth. No way on earth I could send it. I could just service this up, stick a new deck in it and send it out like this. That's never going to happen. I wonder if the same belt is it. I wonder if it's the same size belt I need for my Hitachi. No, it's longer. Fucking would be, wouldn't it? Get a twat. But saying that, it's not too bad under there. It's just on the top really. Even the circuit board looks okay. You know, it's just going to take some time really to do this one. It's not one you can fucking do in 5 minutes. But you know, yeah, we'll have to see about getting that sorted. Anyway, I'm going to leave it there for now, folks, but that's where we're up to on that. It's going to take some time. Like I say, it's not an overnighter, this one. It's really bad. It's had something spilt down here. So it's going to need a really good clean, a really good service. I'm not even sure it's possible to bring this back. We don't even know, because it's rusty and it's bad. Let's even just tilt the mechanism and show you. You can see all that brown in there, and it's all in here, and you know, I'm gonna have to get the the cassette unit might even have to come apart. You know, if it's a full stripped down job of this, I probably won't end up doing it, because there's only so much time you can allow, and you know, once you've allowed that time, that's it. It's time to shut the door on it, isn't it, and say, well, you know, I tried. You know, but unfortunately you can't save them all. But we'll have a go. We won't give up on this one just yet. We'll see after I've done that hacker, because once I've done the hacker I can put this back up on the bench and I can get back to it. But for now I'm going to just find some wet, put it Thanks for watching folks, bye for now.